This is Mostly Superheroes here in the studio, St. Louis, Missouri, with a movie screening for you. We were so happy and lucky to be invited to this one. Allied Global Marketing, Pete, helped us out, get to Marcus Theaters out in Chesterfield to see Wicked.
Chesterfield. Oh, that was my neck of the woods.
I know. Wicked, man. Wicked is in theaters. It's November 22nd. It's dropping this week. You're getting this right after the review embargo, which we have on these films. We have to do.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's like tomorrow at like 2. So whenever you got this, it better be after that. Otherwise, I'm going to get in trouble. So we're going to keep these reviews coming out on the schedule, but plenty of time. If you're like, should I be seeing this in the theaters? Should I be waiting to stream? You got a review from me, a spoiler-free review, and a spoiler-free review from Carrie Clark, who's a massive fan. So I can give the context to the people that love this musical. You'll love this movie. That's easy. If you have seen this musical and you know what it is, you're going to love the movie as well. I think that people that don't know the musical, I think it's going to be interesting to see, but I think they've made an excellent movie that goes from A to Z, that is fun, does everything it needs to do. But this is such a story of this film of Wicked. You know, if you've never really paid attention to what Wicked is and you just knew it was a Broadway musical, what is Wicked? It's a prequel. It's more to Wizard of Oz than what you have been told. You've seen Wizard of Oz. You definitely need to see Wizard of Oz to appreciate this franchise.
This was a book, right?
I'm not sure. It might be worth a quick Google on your phone there. Maybe double check.
I think it was a book, and then they made the musical off the book.
Which is usually the order, right? It's usually like a script or a book, and then like a screenplay, and then a play, and then a massive hit on Broadway with Christina Chenoweth. Make sure I get her name right. And
right.
And Idina Menzel. This took the world by storm, and I was lucky enough to see the musical in Chicago when it was running several years ago, and then Carrie and I did go see this at the Fox Theater. I guess it's been about a year or two, not quite 2 years, just whenever it was here last. So we're big fans of this. We love musicals, and there's also a story that you haven't heard here before. So for me, I think they nailed it. This is the spoiler-free take, and I think they hit all those marks that they hit in the Broadway musical, but just like they do in a movie, they like iron some stuff out and they make it a little smoother. And the visual effects take some moments that I didn't think could be peaked in terms of feeling and really raise the bar where I'm having strong emotions. I mean, I teared up a few times on this. And of course, if you're a big fan, you're always looking for, one big moment in this story. But if you haven't seen it and you're just like, I like Wizard of Oz, I want to get in on this, you can watch Wizard of Oz and then come and watch Wicked in theaters November 22nd. And then straight from Carrie Clark, I made her write it down so I didn't mess it up.
Yeah, there you go. She should be down here in the chair.
I know. She always has the option, just so you know, but
Yes.
she's behind the scenes and she likes to be behind the scenes. And she sent this to me in an
We
email.
need her in the scenes.
She's upstairs doing God knows what. She wrote me this review and sent it to me via email this morning. It was nice to get. Making Wicked into a movie would have been hard to mess up because the story and the music is already so good. I thought they did a beautiful job bringing it to life, completely exceeded my expectations of what it would look and feel like. Leaning into opportunities that were possible on screen but not on stage, and still delivering that oh-so-dramatic, colorful, weird Oz and the journey to the Emerald City. If you don't have chills, tears, and an entire new self-confidence at the end, then you're as heartless as a Tin Man. Find out who you are and what is important to you. Be yourself and don't give up. Question things and trust your instincts. Nothing is what as it seems. Everything is made up and anything is possible. 3.95 out of 4.0 from a Carrie Clark.
Wow.
3.95 out of a 4.0. Like
Very eloquent.
Very eloquent. She got this down and got it out of her system. I was so proud that she could write it this way because we talked about it a lot back and forth, and we were just coming out of the theater. It was just like emotions and feeling so strong, and you always just hope that they don't botch a movie like this.
Yeah.
So Wizard of Oz. You go tell us what you think. Decide for yourself if you're going to see this in theaters, if you're going to see it when it streams at home. Either way, I can promise you, this is an event movie. This is going to be one that I think breaks some box office records, and more to come on Wicked. Scotty, are you going to see this? Are you like musicals? I already know that. So where do you sit with Wicked?
So, not a huge fan of Wizard of Oz. It's never really done it for me, but I do love musicals, so I will likely go check this out. And I did look it up. 1995, Gregory Maguire wrote the novel.
Nice.
And then they adapted it to Broadway.
Nice.
And made it into a musical. Yeah, I would see it. I actually wanted to go to that preview, but just didn't get a chance. It looks good. Did you give us a rating? Give me a rating.
Yeah, I give it a rating, man. Carrie's is 3.95 out of 4.0. I would give it a 3.8 out of 4.0 because, like I said, those big moments were so big. So what am I dinging it on? There's just some parts, and this really is not on the movie. But when you have a movie, you have the opportunity to kind of do something new, right? Mm-hmm. They pretty much stuck to the story, and so I ding the story a little bit because in my mind, there's some really cool things that they show you about, like, oh, I didn't know that about Wizard of Oz. Like, oh, there's more to the story. But sometimes it just feels like they push that a little bit, and there's a couple story elements that I think that, like, you could simplify a little bit, but for world building, Carrie had a good point. They do a really good job of world building here. Mm-hmm. And from the moment this movie starts, you're in Oz for the first time ever in my head. Like, you were there, Wizard of Oz. They was cool. They did a great job. This movie takes you in. So, for everything that I could tweak on the story, the drama, the action, just like Carrie said, the effects, the emotional back and forth, these two characters, and really, we got Ariana Grande playing Glinda the Good Witch and Cynthia Erivo,
yeah,
playing Elphaba, the Green Witch, the Wicked Witch of the West. I mean, man, what a cool character!
I remember her from Bad Times at the El Royale, where she sang in that movie.
Oh, nice.
And she's got an incredible voice.
She has the pipes. That's going to be your big question, right? Does she have? She has the pipes, but she also, you have to be able to act too. And man,
sure. She was in Stephen King show on HBO. What was it?
The Outsider.
The Outsider.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I love that show. Wicked, man. It's in theaters. Go tell us what you think. November 22nd. Are you seeing it? Are you waiting? If you see it, let us know either way at mostlysuperheroes.com. Just search Wicked up at the top when you go to our homepage. Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Carrogan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.